Good morning, ObsCon. We're extremely excited to be here, and welcome to Prioritizing Critical Resource with SLO-driven Incident Response Management. Reem, I think that if we're going to be spending the next 30 minutes together, we might as well just get to know the audience a little bit better.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Reem. I'm a senior software engineer in Grafana, working mainly on incidents. Also, I'm a rookie swimmer in Amsterdam canals, and I do love hiking. And I also go hiking whenever I'm out of the flatlands. Thank you. Back to you, Josh.
I'm Josue. I'm commonly known as Josh, and I'm a principal engineer leading the alerting team here at Grafana. I'm one of the maintainers of the Prometheus Alert Manager, and I'm also a Prometheus team member. When I'm not coding, I love snowboarding, given it wasn't the easiest sport to catch on, given I come from the Caribbean. I'm always more than happy to talk about alerting, IRM, Mimir, or Prometheus. So would you like to continue the conversation, please join me in the small group discussion that's happening during lunchtime for detecting, responding, learning from incidents on the Flame Graph Room. But we're not here to talk about snowboarding or swimming. We're here to talk about achieving better reliability. And before we begin, I want to see a show of hands. Who here is using any form of SLOs? Okay, great. I love seeing so many people with their hands up. I think the demo that we have in store, prepared, you're gonna love. And I'm even more excited for those of you that didn't raise their hand, because I hope that what we have built will help you get started on this journey. Today, we're going to be talking about the Grafana way of doing incident response management. And I'm going to do that with 4 really big topics. As groundwork, we'll do a recap on reliability and specifically why it matters. Following that, we'll provide guidance on how SLOs can be the key to a more proactive reliability practice. After that, we'll slightly move into SLOs the Grafana way, and we'll end with a full walkthrough of an incident using our opinionated incident response management suite. Now, I kind of want to set the context, right, on like, why are we here? And if you ask me, we're here to deliver insights from a high-performing engineering culture, which has resulted in exceptional production reliability, with the hope that this helps you on your own reliability journey. So let's address the reliability elephant in the room. Incidents happen, right? Avoiding it's outright impossible. In an ideal world, we're able to catch issues before our customers tell us about them. We're here to not live in a reactive state. We're chasing after incidents is the norm. And we're here because we want to learn about methodologies and tools that can help our engineering teams be more proactive at keeping their services healthy. We have to note that from an observability perspective, reliability can be broadly represented by metrics such as like availability, errors, latency, and throughput. So what does this actually means for our customers? And I want to walk you through 2 really concrete examples on why reliability failed and how that had major repercussions on the business. If you're a Taylor Swift fan or a Swiftie, I'm sure you haven't forgotten about last November. Users of Ticketmaster were irritated when the site just kept crashing and crashing as they were trying to get tickets for the latest concert. If you're more of a gamer, I'm sure you remember the PlayStation 5 launch. Not one, but several companies were not prepared to handle the load, and it had issues even 4 or 5 days after the launch. That's why reliability should be considered a feature of your service, just like any other feature at the end of the day. Which means that you need to prioritize reliability, you need to work with reliability, and you can never take it for granted. But those were more of a crash and burn example. I think service slowdown is actually the new downtime, depending on what your service does. E-commerce is a great example of this. And data shows that 2 out of 3 customers completely bounce when your latency is over 6 seconds. 53% of mobile users completely abandon you if you take more than 3 seconds to load. And sales statistics have proven that you get a 45% sales improvement if you improve your load time by just 2 seconds. SLOs, or service level objectives, are the key to unlocking this level of reliability. Plain and simple, their goal is to measure how reliable your service should be. But before we move on, I want to make sure we're all on the same page. This is always a little bit confusing. First is an SLI, or a service level indicator, is a well-defined measure of reliability. And one example of that is the percentage of requests to your service that come back without any sort of errors. An SLO, or a service level objective, is your target goal of successful interactions. Essentially, is the SLI, the measure, plus the target for the system to hit. Is an internal goal of how well the system should operate. And finally, we have the SLA, or service level agreement, and is the level of service that one party is contractually obligated to provide to another. So it's an SLO plus some wiggle room to make the target easier to hit, plus the financial penalties if you don't. So let me quickly run you through an example. I like wine. I believe you too, Reem. So let's say that we want to deliver wine to our customers as quickly as possible. We'll start with tracking the percentage of orders delivered within 50 minutes. Let's say that I look at some metric, and the metric tells me that our current SLI is 99%. That's what the number shows. I'll move on into creating an SLO for that SLI. And I'll say, how about 95%?
It's okay.
Great. Our SLO is 95% of orders should be delivered within 50 minutes or less. Now, if you recall what I was just saying, we'll move into the SLA, and you have 99.9 plus 20 minutes, which gives you a little bit of wiggle room, plus the financial penalties if you don't, once you think about the service level agreement of 99.9 of orders are delivered within 20 minutes or less. This can be used at the end of the day to attract more customers, to grow our business, and more importantly, keep our current ones happy. To recap, service level objectives are essential to ensuring optimal system performance. They help balance user experience and that precious resource allocation. Surveys have performance indicators to guide focus and measure business efficiency. They provide clear reliability targets, improving service dependability. They help us set clear stakeholder expectations, improving trust, communication, but more importantly, transparency. Underperforming SLOs help us make better decisions to improve service quality or resource distribution. Unmet SLOs signal the need to prioritize reliability. And they also promote responsibility as underperformance triggers investigations and actions. And finally, they allow early detection of performance shortfalls, minimizing the number of surprises that you get. So in essence, SLOs are vital tools for data-driven decisions, operations optimizations, and delivering reliable services. We need to make sure fans can get those tickets the next time around. At Grafana, we understand the importance of that, which is why, well, technically yesterday, but we announced the general availability of Grafana SLO on Grafana Cloud. It's included on every single tier, including our free forever tier in Grafana Cloud. So there's absolutely no excuse why you shouldn't try them today. Grafana SLOs simplifies SLO management to help create, manage, and also scale SLOs. We have built this with new users in mind. That's why the guided creation UI and Prometheus-less queries helps you quickly get started, even without any sort of knowledge of PromQL. We have helped flatten the learning curve so users can effortlessly create actually useful SLIs and SLOs, all while avoiding the subtleties of dashboards, configuring alerts, and recalling rules. This is all created for you. There are challenges beyond just getting started when it comes to service level objectives. And we're helping teams even scale their SLOs with API and Terraform support from day one, eliminating the need for that tedious point and click around the SLO setup. Granular specific monitoring is critical for service owners, but managers require more of a broader vision on how our SLOs are doing. So our SLO overview provides a snapshot of service level indicators and AR budgets across all of the team's critical services. And I'm pretty sure that at this point, you are eager to see this in action. So I want to allow my colleague Reem to show you how we act, respond, and learn to SLOs at Grafana.
Thank you, Josh. So, demo time. So now allow me to walk you through how we turned from a reactive to a proactive state using Grafana IRM suite. All right, first I will create SLO. First step here in the wizard is to define your SLI. First step is to define your rolling time window. I will leave it 28 days for like that. And then you need to select data source. I will just select Grafana Cloud from data source. Great. Now this is the important step. Here you design your SLI. And here we have two options. Whether you have successful and total events, or you have advanced if you are a fan of PromQL and you would like to write your own PromQL here. I have a success and total metric. Allow me to use it here. So, and for the total metric. All right, what is this about? The success metric, the mythical request time buckets, is basically capturing all the API requests from namespace production that the status doesn't equal 500, which basically all the success requests, and that responded in 200 or less milliseconds. Great. And the total metric, this is different by design. This is all capturing all the API requests from the namespace production, the count ones. Great. But looking at this one, I feel it's pretty generic because we're capturing all the APIs. What if I have a payment team and they're not interested in all the APIs, they're interested only on in the payment endpoints? So I can also add a label here with payment. So I would be able to assign this SLI to payment team. Great, nice. So I have a success metric now, total metric. That's great. What's next? I also can add some grouping with some labels if I want to have, for example, a cluster. So I need to know from which cluster I'm burning my error budget. So I will add grouping by cluster and run queries. Now the magic happens. Here we generate the PromQL query. And here we show you in this graph how your SLI will perform. So it's less than 1. And if you have more than cluster, you can find them here. OK, everything looks great. And to the next step, set target and error budget. So we know this service is not doing very well. And as you can see, the target here was by default 99.5. But as you can see, we will immediately consume our error budget right away. All right. Let's set another value and check, maybe 50. All right, we will never hit our error budget because this is easy to maintain. So I will pick a value in between, maybe 80, and see. All right, I will start to hit my error budget right away, but it's OK because I know this service is not doing very well. I will start with 80, and this process is not a one-time thing. This is a process your team can also embed in your team rituals. So maybe weekly or biweekly, whatever you want, review and see if this is still valid or not. All right. Next step is add name and description. I'm lazy, so I have a name here. And the description is, I'm tracking the availability of the payment service. Oh, sorry. OK. Also, I can attach some SLO labels as much as I can. So if I want to say, OK, this SLO is targeting the core banking team, and I know the service name is the payment service. Great. Next step. So nobody really likes to write alert rules, right? So if we check here, you will have a multi-burn rate alert rules dedicated for your SLI. A fast burn alert rule and a slow burn alert rule. OK, what is the difference? The first one is a thing that you need to wake up your team right away to fix it. This is critical. A critical service is down, and this is like a critical issue happening among short amount of time. And the slow burn alert rule is a thing that your team can fix like 1 or 2 working days. This is a thing that it's okay to wait a bit to fix. So not a critical issue, and it's happening among long amount of time. And also, if you need any help with any step, we have a built-in product documentation here. You can click here and understand what is this step about and understand more. Great. So this is the last step. I'm reviewing the SLO. Everything looks great, and I can save and view. Nice, it's created. All right, with each SLO we create, we immediately create a dashboard where we visualize some data we believe it's really important for you to check. So for an example, here we display the time window and your SLO, your SLI, what is the remaining error budget, and the current burn rate. So for example, if current burn rate is 1, it means that you will burn your error budget in 28 days. So because you set the rolling time window to 28 days. The graph I really like to look at is this one. This is your SLI. This is the most important one because it sees here in this time range you started to hit to consume from your error budget. So maybe you need to look at this time range. You need to look at the logs and see what's wrong in this specific time range. Also, because we specified the cluster as grouping, you can see here for how each cluster is doing for your SLI. So this is also pretty useful. All right. Also, we have an SLO overview, which is a dashboard collecting all your SLOs, and we visualizing some data like the SLI and error budget remaining. So if you want to send it to your team like weekly, so you can export it to PDF and send it by email. Right, great. So now we have SLO, everything's fine. We won't get into the alert fatigue. So the next step, which should be, is I will receive an alert related to this SLO I just created. All right, because we have an integration with OnCall plugin, you will see here we received this alert, and also it's grouped with other related alerts, and it's saying here that like something's wrong with the mythical endpoint we just created. We can see also the runbook here. If I want to check it, to check the runbook and see what should I do. And also I have some important action here like unresolve or resolve or declare an incident. But looking at this, I think it's pretty critical, and we are on call now, so maybe we can declare an incident. Nice. So now we'll head to the incident plugin, and you will see we have the title field already. You would like to select the severity. I think it's major, and I think I can attach customer affected because I believe there is a customer affected, and declare an incident. Great. All right, this is my favorite part. Now you have an incident going on, and we try to automate some of the toil for you. Like we create a PIR, which has embedded the incident timeline, and you can also add the actions you took to resolve this incident, the Google Meet link, and also a Slack channel if you want to communicate with your team about this incident. Great. I think me and Josh, we are on call now. I will assign myself as a commander here. And I will assign Josh as an investigator. I think Josh will be able to help me in this incident. Also, because this is related to the payment team, and I know Ryan is on call, I can invite Ryan here. He's on call. I can invite him to the incident, so he would be able to help us in resolving this incident. Great. Now, to the important part where we work on the incident and try to resolve it. Sorry? Oh, okay. So usually, like your team try to communicate and add notes here, like, hey, I found this solution, or maybe you are in a team, and also you try to log to write in this in the incident timeline what's happening. So you would keep other team members informed. But looking at this incident, I think it's related. If I look at the logs, I think it's related to a third party that was down and caused our payment to not success. So I will write it here. Third party service caused payments to fail. It's up now. It should be working. All right, I will add the note. Also, I found pretty useful features here, like I can attach query. If you remember the query we just generated from the SLI, you can attach your own prompt QL query here. If you think this incident is related to a panel, you can also attach the panel here. Great. All right, I think it's time to resolve the incidents. It looks like resolved, so, and this is my favorite part. And actually, this is my favorite button. So resolve. Oh, sorry, I was really excited. OK. So I'm very lazy and I don't like writing at all. And that's why I really love this feature. The auto summary generation. We send all the key events of the incident to OpenAI, and we generate an auto summary having the why this incident happened and what is the action we took to resolve this incident. So thanks, OpenAI. Bento summary. I think this is pretty accurate incident summary, and resolve with summary. Phew. So the incident resolved, everything's great. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I would like also to show you a couple of cool features I really like. I found it very useful. So if you saw yesterday, we introduced also Sift analysis. So I would like to show you a glance of Sift. So here, for example, in this incident, Sift ran an analysis, and it found here like some slow traces for 465. If you want to understand more, you can look into logs and try to understand which slow traces could be causing this incident. Also, another thing it can look at is one recent deployment that could be causing this incident to happen. So I found it very, very useful. Also, Sift runs other analysis, like trying to find the noisy neighbors and other analysis. I find it very useful. All right. Last one is the incident insights. So in here, we collect all the data that we think it's important for your team to know about, like how many security incidents you had. What is the mean time your team took to resolve the incidents? And the incident captured by severity and by monthly and weekly. So I found it very useful. Maybe if you want to look at it and try to understand if you need to work on like mean time to resolve, so to enhance it or anything, this is pretty useful to look at. All right, so that has been all. And as you can see, we were able to learn, detect, and respond to an incident. It wasn't really scary. I really highly recommend you to check our demo portals and try it as a Grafana IRM suite. Back to you, Josh. Thank you.
Thank you, Reem. As you can see, we were able to detect, respond, and learn about an incident without ever leaving Grafana. There was no context switching. All the information was presented in a cohesive manner and is now readily available for additional stakeholders to see. This is why we're so excited about Grafana's IRM capability. And we're able to speed up incident triage and help increase stakeholder visibility to collect and grow from incident. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope this serves as motivation to start creating SLOs today.